Clem and InZaNe, the Terran versus Terran of this group. We start to the upper right-hand side of Crystalline Addiction. First time we're seeing this one today. This is InZaNe. Going up against the red Terran to the upper left side of the map from XCD Sports, Clem. Alright then, getting ready to go here for game number 1 of our Terran versus Terran. Again, it's been a pretty fun day of action. If you just tuned in, you've missed a lot of great games. But again, the last few games you have as well should be pretty fun. And InZaNe already went 1-1 against Mana. And as he goes up against Clem and Laser and Denver, we'll start to see how this group will finalize and see where the players will be ending up. This first match could be pretty interesting as we get into the TvT and wait to see how it goes. But right now, InZaNe again 1-1 versus the 1-5 scoreline of Clem. It looks hopeful for InZaNe, right? Although I guess if he loses here, he'll be 1-3 and Clem will be 3-5, and then you have to win some of the other matches. Also, actually, straight up losing here would kind of suck as well, because if you straight up lose to someone who you're in potential of tying with, then you would actually, you know, the head-to-head score would go their way in the tiebreaker. So it's actually a pretty important match here, potentially, depending on... I mean, it still depends on other matches, but this one could be a turning point and a decisive one. Let's see how this goes. Just going to be seeing this Reaper heading across into the right-hand side of the map. I've even seen that a couple times. These low ground turrets get auto-attacked by the Reaper coming through the top side. So hops up in towards the main base, and InZaNe is actually not in position at all. Maybe he didn't realize there was a little ledge at the back of his main here on Crystalline Addiction. He'll lose his SCV built in the factory as he comes forwards, and we'll be able to chase that Reaper away. So he chases it back, loses an SCV. Not the end of the world, to be fair. What's kind of crazy is how far apart these positions are. Can you imagine Proxy Rex Reaper on this map? Is he going to push up here? Is he going to push up over there? It's going to be kind of hard to tell, really. I guess he could just wall off this area, though, for Proxy Rex Reapers. Be able to deal with it pretty well, as you do see a couple of Reapers poke at the front. Bunker is up, though, so he's actually pretty well defended. As we will see the 2 Reapers hopping up into the main base and going to move around. A couple of aliens on the way as that reacted factory gets to work. Reaper and a Marine combo here. Actually going to push forwards and doesn't quite get the kill. Great control from Clem so far to just maintain a lead, as we'll be seeing another SCV picked off. Now what we've got to hope for now is to not actually see the players flying their medevacs into these missile turrets. That's our main goal for this game, as there is actually a Cyclone of... What? Killed the bunker? Okay, the bunker was salvaged, but not really with reason, because now this Cyclone of Clem shows up and starts to deal some damage. Goes for the tech lab on the starport. You cancel Cloak, that obviously slows a lot of stuff down, but it is in range for the SCVs to come in and repair. Now you'll start to fight a Hellion and you will get a kill there, but then the Cyclone of InZaNe shows up. Bunker on the low ground trying to wall the Cyclone in. A nice idea, but it didn't quite work out. You're seeing 2 Cyclones coming in now, though. He gets 1 Cyclone for, well, eventually 1 Cyclone here. And he'll turn and obviously get the SCV and maybe the Hellion too. Another Cyclone in production, not ready yet, though. This starport has only just now started its Banshee. So that's actually pretty delayed, as we'll see the natural CC of InZaNe continuing to take a little bit more damage. What if they both just fly their medevacs into the turrets at the same time? Does it then just become who GG's first? It might. It might. 2 Hellions just going to be in some trouble as the Cyclone intercepts them already. These, by the way, are these little, kind of very narrow pathways as well, so it's not easy to pull a full army in this later in the game. Massive units will not fit. So that's actually the same situation as up here through this kind of turret area. So this pathway in general is not really used, which does give access to this gold base to be taken, and I'm sure that's something which these players... I'd be surprised if neither of these players made use of the gold base. As we'll see, the Quad Cyclone locks onto the Banshee, and as we see pushing forwards, The Cyclones are still in pretty good numbers here, and okay, we'll lose one Cyclone, but then he kills another Cyclone. Perhaps the bunker will finish. Bunker's going to have to be repaired by a lot of SCVs, though, because otherwise it's just going to go down. Another Cyclone shows up. It's so close to falling. He goes after the Cyclone instead. Oh my god, I can't believe that bunker stayed alive. The SCV is just high enough in numbers there to be able to keep this alive. Clem unable to break through at the moment. Although you have to say that everything has been going his way other than that. He starts up another command center. Now, as does InZaNe actually in sync with Clem at the moment. I mean, 44 SCVs to 36. Clem is already in an economic lead at the moment here, so he's looking pretty good in that regard. A siege tank now will stop him being as aggressive with these Cyclones, so he will have to pull back over to the left-hand side with these right now. So they're going to head on over to the left. These Cyclones pulling away. Clem just scanned his own base, I guess because there's a Banshee here, of course. That Banshee unsuccessful and really doing a lot. 2 Banshees dead. Look at this lost tab in general. 2 Reapers and 2 Cyclones for 2 Cyclones, 1 Reaper, and 3 Marines, and 3 Hellions, and 2 Banshees, and 11 SCVs. Clem has just shredded so well in this early game TvT. He's looking great in this very first game against InZaNe. Again, a series that could be a turning point of this entire group. CV is going to be trying to repair up then, and the Cyclone's healthy again. Just as the third finishes, and again, I think this base right here is just a gold mine, quite literally, because A, it's got gold minerals, and B, it's very hard to attack into this base. It can't be dropped, really. I think the biggest issue would be a siege down here. I think that would be the biggest chance InZaNe has of doing something somewhat successful against this. Is it allowed to make the Natra an all-gold base? Well, we had prior on terraces. That was an interesting map, wasn't it? I still don't know if I even like that map. It's just weird. Scan at the front as we do see Clem just gathering between the bases. And a few anti-neutral missile turrets on this one, as you do see some of them over here and some of them over here as well. Hellion actually moves all the way over to this side and just going to watch for the gold base of his opponent. But actually InZaNe is going to move down to the south, so he's going to fly that CC to the third base location instead. Drop that down and go from there, as we have one Hellion watching here too though. So Clem, oh man, he actually with blue, he has blue flame? Oh, he's playing mech, wow. Am I just ignorant or what? I've been so concerned with everything that's going on the map, I just completely forgot to notice that Clem was... I noticed Clem was playing mech, but I really forgot to just sort of really tell myself in my mind, like, Clem is playing mech, you know? So yes, Clem is playing mech, guys, and that's why the blue flame is obviously on those Hellions. God, I was like, blue flame? I was like, yeah, of course, it's got mech. Duh! 1-1 vehicle weapons is about to finish from Clem even as he pushes forwards. He's already going to wake his way through these rocks, looking to open up an attack path up through the top side. It's going to be difficult because it is a very narrow position to push through with a mech army, which is pretty large generally. This team Medivacs pulling back just slightly here, and we do have, again, InZaNe's army just moving around a little bit. Fourth base from InZaNe, built-in location on the bottom right corner, so that's definitely one way for him to kind of get back in. I mean, as a bio player, generally you would want to out-expand the mech players, so that looks good as these Hellbats drop on top though. I mean, this fight is happening. These Cyclones are ripping their way through everything so far. That one tank there just doesn't quite go down. Okay, well, not much left for InZaNe, and at the same time, Hellions have run by and killed off a whole bunch of damage on this mineral line. 15 workers falling over here, as we'll see Clem starting to pull back through the center. A couple of Marines here from InZaNe are actually looking to maybe move across and harass. In the meantime, they actually killed off a couple of the neutral turrets. Just going to be seeing these now get rid of SCVs. Wow, he doesn't get a single kill, unfortunate. You're going to be seeing rapid fire launchers starting up on the factory. 2 upgrades on the armory starting as well. There's Clem to kind of clean up a few more of these missile turrets, which means that the map is being cleaned out. InZaNe is going to be able to drop across here more easily soon. I actually don't think Clem would want to clean these out, because in general this protects his base, whereas it doesn't really do much protecting of InZaNe at all. And obviously InZaNe's the player that generally is going to be reliant on drops. Ironically, it's the meching player who's currently dropping on top of the bio with those Hellbats. tanks will unsiege, and it looks as though we're going to be seeing this army pushing forward again here in the near future. 2 upgrades right now from InZaNe on the way down, and again, a little bit more bio just gathered up. InZaNe really feels like he's in trouble, though. I don't really know what he does to start getting some momentum back here on this map against Clem. I don't know what a good move would be for him, honestly. Medevac, Marines, Marauder, moving around the right side. Everything loading up now once again. And we are going to be seeing this army of Clem just going to start pushing forwards. Tanks sieging, Hellbats will start a drop, and those units are already being pushed back just a little bit further. It's going to be difficult to surround those tanks when they're literally cuddled by the positioning here. Some Hellbats inside, Clem realizing that he has walled himself off in this position. That's still looking to drop on top, but this army supply is so high, and well, InZane's just going to tap out right then and there. Clem takes the right hand side of the map with our green Terran player InZaNe. Bottom left hand side is the red Terran from XCD Sports, Clem. We already have, well, at this stage, with InZane's 1 and 2, it still depends a little bit, but we already have 9 players through into the playoffs. True, Lambo, and TLO are already in the quarterfinals based on their first place performances. And we have Stefano versus Euthermal, Harston, Raynor, and Sol versus Hellraiser already set up in the round of 12. Second place of this group will play against Harston. Third place of this group will play against Raynor. I think that's quite a lot of motivation to kind of play towards in general anyways. The last thing you want is to have to play a Raynor, right? Second place would be so much better than first here. Than third, sorry. First would be great. You go straight through into the quarterfinals, and then you play either the winner of Sol or Hellraiser. So that's much more doable, I think, than the other routes. Well, let's see what happens, guys, because already you can see this proxy barracks. Not just a proxy barracks from Clem, a proxied factory as well. Poor Automaton. I feel as though every time we get to Automaton, something so weird and wacky happens that we don't get to see the weird and wacky features on the map itself. Some gold base kind of blocked off by rocks. I mean, it's actually pretty cool in general, I think, the map. If you can get to 3 or 4 bases, I think it'd be a lot of fun. Reminds me a bit of Acolyte, the 3rd base down here and the 4th base, like, out the front in front of, like, obviously it's not an in-base main, but, yeah. It's just those 4 bases, the way they're set out, reminds me of Acolyte a bit. But InZaNe, oh my god, is InZaNe got a proxy starport? Oh, wow. So we have a proxy barracks, proxy factory versus proxy starport. Well then. I mean, Clem is, oh, well, he's going to proxy the starport as well. I mean, that makes sense. You proxy the first 2 structures, proxy in the 3rd one is kind of just the obvious route to take. It's the obvious next stage of this. So, no surprise there. Just going to be seeing the Reaper on the way up on the production of each player. Clem is actually going to lose the Reaper, though. InZaNe coming through, and he is going to pick up a kill there. So InZaNe getting a kill already. Cyclone coming forwards now and will be able to go after Reaper. Reaper actually goes down though from InZaNe, so Clem gets the kill, and okay, now he will just not lose his Reaper and kills the other Reaper of his opponent. InZaNe yet to use the starport, maybe just saving it for a Liberator. Knowing there's going to be nothing here, pretty good motivation for him to get that Liberator up ASAP. Meanwhile over here it's going to be a Medevac, which means that he's going to be able to add some micro potential to these Cyclones that he's making. And obviously makes life a bit more difficult for InZaNe, who's already got one of these Cyclones super low. Oh, he's going to have to try and get out of here, but the gold base will block him. Cyclone goes down, the Reaper gets the kill. But this Liberator could be a game changer. All it has to do is get over here, siege up, and it's going to take so long for Clem to have anything across the map to respond from this. This is going to be real interesting as we do see 2 Reapers and 2 Cyclones. Moving up this ramp already. First bunker will just get killed, no cancel. Next one will build instantly behind it. SCV's pulling into the front to try and help protect. Cyclone micro is good. 1 Cyclone pulled back already, no health on it. And while Clem is making his way into the main, there's that Liberator showing up though, going to siege up all over this place. And well, now Clem is not going to be able to build much more because his economy is going to be non-existent. His SCV is getting killed, and the biggest issue isn't that he can pull the SCVs away. Yes, he can. Is that now he doesn't actually just have anywhere to shut the Liberator down, so he still can't mine. He can't send the SCVs back. Natural expansion on the way up, though, so I guess that's something you can look toward in the near future. There's going to be a huge amount of time in which he can't mine for, though. It's going to be seeing those two Cyclones gathering together still. We'll see a bunker coming up here as well. Two Cyclones starting to work their way through this barracks, and a couple more Cyclones here from InZaNe locking onto the medevac. This micro so far, again, that medevac giving so much micro potential to Clem, really allowing him to just sit here for way longer than you'd usually expect him to be able to. And well, again, he's picked off the T-Bros at the front, he's really slowed InZaNe down. Now across the map, this Liberator is still just sat here, but now Clem starts to mine from the natural. Doesn't have gases here yet, and InZaNe never made a second Liberator. One Viking got made and got sent to the other side, so InZaNe will lose this Lib. But man, he's going to come out with just a 2-worker lead, while his opponent sits on double orbital. That's going to be pretty good. The Liberator does at least scout double command center, so now InZaNe knows Clem has another base up and running, and he realizes that he probably has to do something to end this game sooner rather than later. Yeah, a couple of Cyclones getting involved again. InZaNe is going to be able to push his opponent back. So InZaNe able to lock onto this side of Viking as well. Might not get the kill, but some good damage if he wants to keep on pressing himself. And he is going to be able to continue to head towards the bottom left-hand side. This Viking going to head towards the main base. Medevac's all the way back here now. Again, InZaNe is really very reliant on the next push or two because, again, he doesn't have a command center of his own to fall back to. But it's a very large map, so it takes forever for units to actually come across here. It's already taking a little while there, as you see. That medevac shut down. Trades all over the place here so far. Now going to be seeing Viking, Cyclone, showed up in the natural. Gets some STV kills, so I mean, again, economic damage needs to be done. He starts to do it here. Turns back, comes back, starts to target the orbital once more. Couple Cyclones just push back up into the main base. Viking and a Cyclone here as well continue to work their way through a few more SCVs. We will have 7 kills coming in right now. This barracks continuing to take just a little bit more damage. You see the Cyclone get ready to pop out very soon here as well. Cyclones will drop Marines, going to get some kills though, turning quickly onto that. The SCVs get a Marine as well as they leave. Man, this has been back and forth, but InZaNe's just running out of units, and it's been a fun little micro war, but we're really just running to that point now where not much else is going to happen. Liberator will siege up, so InZaNe is still trying to again catch back up, considering he's losing all of his SCVs over here to that medevac drop of Cyclones. And because of that, we just see this Cyclone just cleaning up. Yeah, I mean, right now, Clem can't actually mine, but he will be able to push this Liberator away, which means he'll get back to mining, which means he'll be back on track here very shortly. Cyclone's still in the main base of InZaNe. I mean, that's the thing. These units of Clem just continue to rally in, because all of his production, or most of his production, is obviously across the map. InZaNe has another Cyclone showing up, but he'll lose that. Then he should lose the Liberator as well. And then as he loses the Liberator, the Cyclone for some reason runs into it, but yeah, that should be GG. InZaNe has no way back, and he knows he doesn't have a CC. He actually does. Just type it out right there.